A dense fog clings to the Moravian hills as dawn breaks, obscuring the landscape in a veil of mystery. Eerie silence hangs in the air, broken only by the faint, distant echo of marching soldiers. The fog swirls and shifts, teasing glimpses of the terrain beneath, creating a sense of unease. Each gust of wind carries the promise of revelation, heightening the anticipation. The obscured terrain hints at hidden dangers and untold stories lurking beneath the mist. The dawn struggles to pierce the gloom, casting long, distorted shadows that dance with the fog. Dawn breaks in Napoleon's tent, where the air is thick with anticipation and the scent of wax and parchment. Marshals gather, their faces etched with a mix of duty and trepidation, as Napoleon dominates the space with his unwavering resolve. Candlelight dances across a vast map, illuminating the Pratzen Heights, the linchpin of Napoleon's grand strategy. Napoleon's finger traces the critical line, his intense focus a beacon in the dimly lit tent. An animated map unfolds, lines of red and blue painting a vivid picture of the Austerlitz battlefield. French forces arrayed against the combined might of Austria and Russia, a dance of strategic positioning. Troop movements illustrated with precision, each line a calculated risk in the grand strategy. Key locations light up, each a crucial point in the unfolding battle. Commanders' names flash, the minds behind the massive chess game of war. A comprehensive overview, the calm before the storm of Austerlitz. Under the open sky, French soldiers, battle-worn and weary, brace themselves for the coming fight. Napoleon moves through the ranks, a beacon of resolve amidst the palpable tension. His presence is a surge of courage, his words a rallying cry against the approaching storm. The air vibrates with anticipation, each soldier steeling their nerves for the inevitable clash. A resolute silence falls, broken only by the rustling of banners as they prepare to meet their fate. Inside the Allied War Council, a table groans under maps as Tsar Alexander I passionately gestures, his youth a stark contrast to the gravity of war. Emperor Francis II, brow furrowed, counters the Tsar's fervor, his caution a heavy cloak in the room's tense atmosphere. General Kutuzov, weathered and reserved, stands apart, his silent dissent a palpable presence amid the clamor. His attempts to interject are dismissed, leaving his deep reservations hanging unspoken in the air, a silent warning. On Pratzen Heights, French troops stage a deliberate retreat, scattering equipment across the field. Abandoned cannons and discarded gear litter the landscape, a silent testament to apparent defeat. Allied scouts, hidden from view, watch with growing excitement and premature triumph. Their faces light up with the belief that the French army is sovereignties and on the brink of collapse. A sense of victory begins to permeate their ranks, fueled by the orchestrated deception. Little do they know, this withdrawal is a calculated trap, setting the stage for a devastating counterattack. Dawn breaks over Austerlitz, painting the battlefield in pale light as Allied forces surge southward, a relentless tide of men and steel. The French right flank buckles under the assault, a maelstrom of clashing steel and desperate cries echoing across the blood-soaked field. Deafening cannon fire tears through the ranks, each blast a searing flash of destruction amid the swirling chaos of battle. Musket volleys rip through the air, a deadly hail of lead, finding its mark as the earth trembles under the weight of the brutal conflict. The French right flank is a maelstrom of dust and smoke as soldiers brace against the Allied onslaught. Faces grim, they stand firm as cannon fire rips through the air, each blast shaking the very ground beneath them. Marshal lands, battle-worn but resolute, rallies his troops with a thunderous roar above the chaos. His voice cuts through the din. "Hold your ground, men. Show them the courage of France. They shall not pass." A surge of defiance ripples through the line, the French soldiers steeling themselves for the inevitable clash. High atop the observation post, Napoleon stands resolute, a figure of destiny against the vast, war-torn landscape. The distant clash of armies is but a muted symphony to his ears, his focus absolute, unwavering. His telescope, an extension of his will, brings the chaotic battlefield into sharp, strategic clarity. A mask of calm composure conceals the storm of calculations and strategies swirling within him. Patience radiates from him, a general's virtue, as he waits for the opportune moment to strike. The fate of empires hangs in the balance, resting on his command, his vision, his unwavering resolve. Above Austerlitz, an animated map shimmers into existence, detailing troop movements on the fateful battlefield. The Allied forces surge, heedless of the weakening center, as they commit more troops to assault the French right flank. Each tiny animated figure rushes to its doom, unaware of the grand strategy unfolding above them. The map pulses, a silent testament to the shifting tides of battle and the impending clash of empires. The fog slowly retreats, unveiling the strategic Pratzen Heights, a silent witness to the impending clash. Under the gaze of Marshal Soult, French divisions mobilize, their polished bayonets glinting in the emerging sunlight. Awaiting the signal, soldiers stand poised, their anticipation palpable in the crisp morning air. The heights loom, and the French prepare to advance, ready to claim the high ground. On the Austerlitz battlefield, Napoleon raises his hand, a silent command understood by thousands. A thunderous roar erupts as the French soldiers surge forward. A blue wave crashing against the Pratzen Heights, boots pound the frozen ground as they ascend, bayonets catching the pale sunlight. The Allied center buckles, caught off guard by the relentless French assault. The Allied center collapses under relentless assault. Panic explodes as the battlefield turns into a vortex of despair. Marshal Murat leads a steel wave of French cavalry, their charge a thunderous cascade into the Allied breach. Men scream, horses whinny, and the ground trembles under the crushing hooves. Chaos reigns as the Allied ranks disintegrate, swallowed by the brutal onslaught of the French cavalry. Across the desolate, frozen ponds, thousands of Russian soldiers flee in blind terror, their desperation painting a grim tableau against the ice. The distant, ominous echo of French cannon fire spells approaching doom. A sudden, sharp crack pierces the air as the ice begins to fracture under the soldiers' weight. Panic intensifies as fissures spread like spider webs across the frozen surface, sealing their fate. The ice gives way, and soldiers plunge into the frigid depths, their screams swallowed by the frozen expanse. The icy water closes over them, marking a chilling end to their desperate flight. The air is thick with smoke and the stench of death over Austerlitz. The battlefield is a grotesque tapestry of bodies and broken machines. French soldiers, faces smeared with grime, raise their rifles, their cheers, hoarse yet triumphant, amidst the carnage. A tattered French flag waves proudly, a stark symbol of victory against a backdrop of devastation. The once pristine fields now bear witness to the brutal cost of war, a silent testament to the day's events. Sunlight floods Austerlitz Castle, highlighting dust motes in the tense air. Napoleon and Emperor Francis II face off amidst opulent surroundings. A veneer of polite respect masks the heavy weight of recent conflict. Unspoken tension fills the room, a silent testament to battles fought. Amidst the desolation of Austerlitz, Napoleon stands as a solitary figure, the weight of victory etched upon his face. Fallen flags and shattered cannons litter the battlefield, silent testaments to the brutal clash of empires. The air is thick with the acrid scent of gunpowder, a lingering reminder of the day's carnage. A golden sunset casts long, mournful shadows across the war-torn land, painting the scene with a somber beauty. Silence descends, broken only by the whispers of the wind, a poignant eulogy for the fallen. Vienna's cobblestone streets buzz with news. Whispers of French victory spread like a chilling draft. The vibrant city's mood shifts, the air thick with disbelief and rising dread. Austrians halt, their faces reflecting a stark tableau of shock and dismay. The weight of the news settles heavily, etching worry lines onto previously carefree faces. A collective gasp sweeps through Vienna as the city confronts the shadow of defeat. The remnants of the Russian army trudge eastward, a broken line against the desolate landscape. Torn uniforms and muddy boots tell tales of defeat, their faces etched with despair. A cold wind carries the stench of gunpowder and the moans of the wounded. Each step is a heavy echo of loss, a retreat into the heart of winter's silent wrath. Inside Napoleon's tent, candlelight flickers, casting dramatic shadows on the canvas walls and illuminating the solitary figure hunched over his desk. The scent of ink fills the air as Napoleon's brow furrows, lost in thought as he selects each word with meticulous care. "My dearest Josephine, victory is ours," Napoleon pens, his voice echoing in the dimly lit tent. He writes of the battle, a tempest of steel and fire, his words painting a scene of chaos and triumph. Napoleon's quill dances across the parchment as he confesses, through it all, I saw only your face, your love guiding my hand. France is safe, he declares, longing evident in his voice. And I, your devoted Napoleon, long only to return to your embrace. Above Austerlitz, an animated map materializes, its spectral lines painting a vivid tableau of shifting European borders. The Treaty of Pressburg's wake reshapes the continent in a mesmerizing display of power and ambition. Boundaries blur and expand with dizzying speed, empires rising and collapsing in a whirlwind of color. The battlefield below witnesses the ephemeral nature of dominion etched in the skies above, a silent testament to the ceaseless dance of nations, painted on the canvas of history itself. Inside the military academy, instructors command attention, their voices echoing through the halls. Chalk dust dances in sunbeams as complex battle diagrams fill the blackboards, illustrating Napoleon's genius. Students lean forward, captivated, as the Battle of Austerlitz unfolds through passionate explanations. Gestures highlight tactical brilliance, each movement a lesson in strategy and calculated risk. The air crackles with intensity as key decisions are dissected, their consequences reverberating through time. A silent awe fills the room, Napoleon's legacy etched into the minds of future military leaders. Cobblestone streets teem with defiant protesters, their faces a mask of anger against the backdrop of classic European architecture. Banners bearing anti-French slogans whip through the air, a visual scream against oppression. The air vibrates with shouts, a chaotic symphony of rebellion echoing through ancient city squares. Small pockets of resistance ignite, a volatile dance of defiance against the ordered ranks of French soldiers. Each iconic building stands as a silent sentinel, witnessing the unfolding drama of a continent in turmoil. Under a wide sky, modern tourists wander the Austerlitz battlefield, their footsteps echoing where history was forged. They pause, their shadows stretching across the open ground, as if the land itself holds its breath. Each gazes thoughtfully at the vast expanse, a silent tribute to the soldiers who once stood there. Lost in reflection, they grapple with the weight of history, their faces etched with solemn respect. The wind whispers tales of battles fought and lost, a haunting reminder of the past. The battlefield stands as a stark memorial, where echoes of valor and sorrow linger in the air. Silent exhibits fill the museum, showcasing relics from Austerlitz, a frozen tableau of history. Faded uniforms hang on mannequins, whispering tales of courage and loss from a bygone era. Sabers gleam under glass, a stark reminder of the deadly dance of war on the battlefield. Maps chart the clash of armies, capturing the grand strategy and brutal reality of Austerlitz. The sun bleeds across the Austerlitz battlefield, casting long shadows over the war-torn land. Napoleon stands alone, a silhouette against the fiery sunset, his figure embodying power and solitude. The sky burns with shades of orange and red, framing the iconic image of the emperor in contemplation. A dramatic tableau of victory and introspection as twilight descends upon Austerlitz. Close up. Napoleon's intense script fills the page, chronicling Austerlitz as the finest battle I ever fought. Each word drips with the pride of a conqueror, immortalizing a battlefield victory. The ink bleeds into the paper, a testament to the weight of history. His handwriting, bold and assured, echoes the confidence of a man who shaped an era. Austerlitz, forever etched in memory, radiates from the page. On a vast plain, European monarchs stand frozen, their faces mirroring fear and awe in equal measure. Distant cannons boom, each echo a chilling reminder of Napoleon's crushing victory. Some clutch their chests, hearts pounding with dread as the old order crumbles. Others stare blankly at the horizon, struggling to grasp the seismic shift in power. Their opulent robes, once symbols of invincibility, now appear dull against impending doom. A silent tableau of fallen grandeur, forever etched against the backdrop of a new era. French soldiers celebrate, their cheers echoing through the streets. Drums beat a rhythm of triumph as flags wave proudly in the wind. The air vibrates with the energy of victory, a symphony of joy. A sea of faces, flushed with pride, basks in the glory of the day. The Allied war room is steeped in a heavy silence, the air thick with the bitter taste of defeat. Under harsh lights, Allied commanders gather, their faces reflecting exhaustion and bitter frustration. Maps and intelligence reports become silent witnesses to the dissection of failures. Each commander searches for a sliver of insight, a beacon in the darkness of lost battles. The weight of responsibility hangs heavy as they seek to prevent history from repeating its mistakes. Under the vast sky, the Austerlitz battlefield stretches a silent witness to history. A lone historian walks the undulating field, the wind a mournful whisper through the tall grass. He pauses, head bowed, lost in the echoes of the 1805 battle. Sunlight beats down, casting long, distorted shadows across the field. The landscape remembers, its silence heavy with the weight of forgotten conflict. In quiet contemplation, the historian seeks to understand the past within the present. Scholars are deeply engrossed in study, their faces illuminated by the soft light filtering through the grand library windows. Aged books line the shelves, each volume whispering tales of the past. Diligent researchers pore over historical documents, their pens scratching furiously across parchment. The air is thick with the scent of old paper and the quiet murmur of turning pages. The scholar's focus is centered on Napoleon, his legacy etched in the annals of history. Maps of Austerlitz are spread across the tables, each contour a silent witness to the epic battle. Under the warm sun, Austerlitz village bustles with daily life, shadows stretching across cobblestone streets. Children's laughter mixes with the calls of merchants hawking wares in the lively marketplace. Farmers work the fields, their movements timeless against the backdrop of history. The village thrives, oblivious to the looming echoes of a battlefield's past. Under the bright French sun, stone and bronze rise high, monuments standing as silent witnesses to Napoleon's enduring legacy. Each statue, a frozen moment of ambition and power, etched against the clear blue sky. From Paris to the countryside, the monuments mark the landscape, each a bold echo of the past. Sunlight glints off bronze, illuminating the faces of soldiers and the stern gaze of the emperor. Shadows lengthen as the day matures, casting the monuments in a dramatic light, hinting at glory and tragedy. The monuments stand defiant against time, symbols of a legacy that continues to stir the soul of France. Sunlight streams through the dome, casting a reverent glow on Napoleon's red porphyry sarcophagus. The air is thick with history, a palpable silence broken only by distant echoes. Shadows dance across the polished marble, accentuating the tomb's intricate architecture. The massive sarcophagus dominates the space, a monument to a fallen emperor. Soft light reveals the exquisite details carved into the marble floor. A sense of awe and solemnity pervades the grand, silent chamber. Under the cold moonlight, the Austerlitz battlefield unfolds, a haunting expanse of ghostly shadows and stark contrasts. The air hangs still, heavy with the silence of the fallen, each shadow a somber testament to the day's brutal end. Desolate and vast, the landscape evokes a profound sense of destruction and loss, whispering tales of courage and despair. Moonlight paints the battlefield in silver hues, transforming the silent aftermath into a haunting tableau of war's grim artistry. A vortex of smoke and spectral soldiers locked in a ghostly clash of bayonets fills the night. Young Napoleon stands atop a hill, his eyes burning with strategic fire, a phantom map unfolding in his mind. The air crackles with echoes of shouted orders and the thunder of hooves, a symphony of war. Austerlitz, a feigned retreat, a charge, a frozen lake shattering key moments flashing. Under a warm sun, golden wheat fields sway gently across the European countryside, a peaceful scene after the storm. Farmers work, their faces reflecting generations of labor, their movements, a dance with the land. Quaint villages nestle in the distance, rooftops shimmering like jewels scattered across the green hills. The air hums with tranquility, a stark contrast to the echoes of the Napoleonic Wars. Children's laughter rings through the meadows, their carefree joy a promise of a brighter future. A profound sense of prosperity and hope pervades the landscape, a testament to resilience and renewal. A close-up reveals the iconic portrait of Napoleon, his gaze intense, burning with unyielding ambition. Each brushstroke captures the essence of Napoleon's charisma, a testament to his powerful persona. His commanding presence leaps from the canvas, an eternal echo of a conqueror's spirit. The portrait stands as a stark reminder of his indomitable will and the heights of his empire. On the Austerlitz battlefield, reenactors in Napoleonic uniforms prepare to recreate history, their faces grim with anticipation. Cannons boom, smoke billowing. As they charge, a wave of color and fury sweeping across the field. Muskets fire in a deafening volley, the air thick with the acrid scent of gunpowder. A reenactor, face streaked with dirt, raises his sword, leading the charge with fierce determination. The echoes of battle resonate, a vivid, haunting reminder of Austerlitz's tumultuous past. Sunlight floods Napoleon's strategy room, dust motes swirling as he surveys the miniature battlefield with an intense, unwavering gaze. Marshals Berthier, Murat, and Davout watch, their faces etched with a mixture of concern and anticipation. Napoleon's fingers tighten around a tiny soldier. A silent command hangs in the air. The faces of the marshals reflect the movement, mirroring the shift in strategy and the weight of impending battle. The Austerlitz battlefield stretches out, vast and silent under the cold light of dawn. An aerial view reveals the intricate layout of the land, a chessboard for war. Shadows lengthen, painting the fields with a somber hue, hinting at the conflict to come. The sun rises higher, casting a golden glow over the silent, expectant battlefield. A panoramic vista emphasizes the sheer scale of the impending battle. The calm before the storm hangs heavy in the air, a deceptive peace on the killing fields. Inside the Allied strategy room, stern faces loom around a mahogany table, tension hanging heavy in the air. Maps of Europe sprawl across the table, a silent testament to the war's vast, intricate web. Pens mark battle lines, each a stark reminder of lives at stake in the war. Greased pencils sketch out strategies, bold strokes against the backdrop of impending battles. Commanders argue, their voices rising like the tides of war, each desperate to be heard. The weight of the world rests on their shoulders as they navigate the treacherous path to victory. On the battlefield, raw emotions are etched onto the faces of the soldiers, a canvas of fear and grim determination. Exhaustion lines their eyes, reflecting the brutal reality of the conflict. Sweat and grime streak their skin, each mark telling a story of survival and endurance. The air crackles with tension as they brace themselves for the next onslaught. Inside Napoleon's command center, maps blanket every surface, a testament to the scale of his ambition. Napoleon issues rapid, precise commands, his voice a force that shapes the destiny of armies. Dispatch riders surge forward, receiving scrolls bearing orders that could change the course of history. Messengers mount their steeds, their departure marking the beginning of a chain of events. Hooves thunder as the riders vanish, each carrying the weight of Napoleon's will to the front lines. The Austerlitz battlefield roars, the air thick with smoke. Cannon fire and musket volleys echo across the desolate landscape. Smoke billows, obscuring the horizon, painting a canvas of utter chaos and destruction. A symphony of destruction plays out as soldiers clash amidst the smoke and thunder. The ground trembles under the relentless barrage, a testament to the fury of war. Amidst the smoke and fire, silhouettes of soldiers emerge, locked in a deadly dance of survival. Sunlight paints the scene as Napoleon surveys his troops, dust motes swirling in golden light, anticipation hanging heavy. Immaculate uniform commanding presence. Napoleon stands tall on the makeshift platform, his gaze sweeping across the waiting soldiers. "Soldiers!" Napoleon's voice booms, conviction ringing as he addresses the assembled ranks. "Before us lies the field of battle." His words ignite the air, a call to courage and loyalty echoing across the proving ground. A dense fog clings to the Austerlitz battlefield, obscuring the grim tableau about to unfold. The fog dramatically lifts, revealing the vast expanse of the battlefield. Massive armies stand arrayed, a silent, ominous prelude to the coming storm of war. Sunlight glints off thousands of polished weapons, reflecting the cold resolve of the soldiers. Banners flutter in the wind, each a symbol of power and impending conflict. The air crackles with tension, a palpable sense of dread hanging over the silent battlefield. Allied commanders exchange uneasy glances. The weight of their grave error crushes the room. Strategic miscalculation dawns, a bitter pill of realization in the tense air. Maps lie scattered, rendered useless, as the French counterattack booms closer. Unspoken recriminations fill the room as defeat looms, a symphony of impending doom. The Austerlitz battlefield roars as the French cavalry forms a thundering wave, poised to crash against enemy lines. With a mighty surge, the cavalry charges forth, an unstoppable force of men and horses. Their hooves pound the earth, a relentless rhythm of war as they tear across the open field. The Allied lines brace for impact as the French cavalry hurtles toward them, a storm of steel and fury. Chaos erupts as the cavalry crashes into the enemy, the ground trembling beneath the weight of the onslaught. The French cavalry pierces through the Allied ranks, their charge an earth-shaking display of military might. Inside Napoleon's victory, the air is thick with gunpowder, a testament to the battle's brutal conclusion. Sunlight pierces through shattered windows, casting a triumphant glow on Napoleon and his marshals. Napoleon stands tall amidst his commanders, a beacon of authority in the aftermath of victory. The faces of his loyal commanders reflect both exhaustion and elation, etched with the marks of war. With a commanding gesture, Napoleon raises his hand, silencing the celebratory roar of his victorious army. Austerlitz battlefield, a desolate, snow-covered expanse under a pale winter sun, the air heavy with gunpowder and death. Wounded soldiers lie scattered across the frozen ground, their cries of agony piercing the deathly silence. The metallic tang of blood mingles with the acrid scent of gunpowder, a grim testament to the brutal clash. Groans echo across the vast field, a symphony of suffering rising from the fallen. The desolate landscape stretches to the horizon, a canvas of despair painted with the colors of war. A pale sun casts long shadows across the battlefield, a silent witness to the carnage and devastation. Dust-filled light paints the command tent in hues of defeat, the air heavy with unspoken blame. Allied commanders sit in defeated silence, their faces mirroring the crushing weight of failure. Maps and discarded plans litter the war table, a testament to strategies gone awry. The weight of responsibility settles heavily, each breath a burden in the stifling tent. Failed offensives are traced on the map, each line a stark reminder of the day's loss. The silence screams louder than any battle cry, echoing the bitter taste of defeat. The sun bleeds across the Austerlitz battlefield, its dying light painting the scene in hues of orange and despair. Long shadows stretch like grasping fingers, a stark reminder of the day's brutal dance with death. The air hangs heavy with the scent of smoke and sorrow, a silent testament to the fallen. A somber mood settles, blanketing the ravaged landscape in a shroud of quiet contemplation. The battlefield whispers tales of valor and loss as twilight descends, a haunting symphony of war. Sunlight floods the grand hall, illuminating swirling dust motes and portraits of bygone eras. Esteemed historians gather around a polished mahogany table, their faces alight with intellectual fervor. Leather-bound volumes line the towering bookshelves, silent witnesses to centuries of scholarship. The air hums with the weight of history as they delve into Napoleon's legacy. Each historian brings their unique perspective, weaving a tapestry of knowledge and insight. The legacy of Napoleon looms large, a subject of endless fascination and debate. Under the vast sky, a solemn memorial stands on the Austerlitz battlefield, a stark reminder of sacrifice. Sunlight casts long shadows across the field, highlighting the silent stones that commemorate the fallen soldiers. The memorial stands as a testament to history, etched with the names of those who perished. A somber landscape stretches out, where echoes of battle linger in the wind. The camera pans across the memorial, capturing the quiet dignity of the site. Sunlight paints the room as Napoleon lies on a simple cot, lost in thought. His face tightens in concentration, eyes closed, a world of ambition swirling within, a triumphant figure accepting the surrender of kings and emperors. He envisions vast armies marching across Europe, a silent promise of power. Glory shimmers just out of reach in his dream. The dream is vivid, intoxicating, a promise of power. Across the Austerlitz battlefield, the wind whispers a mournful song, carrying echoes of past conflict. Under the sun, shadows stretch long and distorted, like specters haunting the field. The tall grass sways, a silent witness to the clash of steel and the roar of cannons. A vast, empty stage where history's drama played out, leaving whispers in the wind. Sunlight floods Napoleon's study. Ancient texts spread before him. Marble busts of Caesar and Alexander watch over Napoleon. Napoleon's brow is furrowed as he studies the ancient maps. His finger traces the borders of Gaul on one map. Then he moves to a map of Persia. Lost in thought, the weight of history rests heavily upon his shoulders. The Austerlitz battlefield lies still under the pale dawn, the air thick with the ghosts of yesterday. A sweeping vista reveals the vast field, now silent, where hours before, chaos and destruction reigned. Scattered across the landscape, broken weapons and tattered flags serve as grim reminders of the human cost. The sun rises higher, casting long shadows that stretch across the desolate ground, painting the scene in somber hues. An eerie quiet blankets the battlefield, the silence amplifying the weight of loss and the echoes of war. Amidst the ruins, Allied forces begin the arduous task of rebuilding, their faces etched with grim determination. Hope flickers as engineers assess structural damage, strategizing the reconstruction of vital infrastructure. Soldiers, weary but resolute, clean and repair weapons, preparing for the looming threat of future conflicts. Medical teams provide aid, their compassion a beacon in the war-torn landscape, nursing the wounded back to health. A unified front emerges as leaders convene, mapping out defense strategies, ensuring resilience against future adversaries. The Austerlitz battlefield unfolds, a desolate canvas of mud and ruin under a mournful sky. Deep scars of war mark the earth, craters gaping like wounds in the landscape. Shattered wagons and broken weapons lie scattered, silent testaments to the brutal clash. Tattered banners flutter weakly, their colors faded and torn, ghosts of former glory. A chilling wind sweeps across the barren expanse, carrying the acrid scent of smoke. The air hangs heavy with the grim odor of decay, a haunting reminder of lives lost. Sunlight floods Napoleon's chamber, bathing the room in a radiant glow. Napoleon stands tall, his presence commanding attention and respect. His eyes gleam with unwavering resolve, reflecting his inner strength. A charismatic aura surrounds him, inspiring loyalty in his followers. His very stance exudes confidence, a leader ready to conquer all. He is the embodiment of power, a force that cannot be denied. The Austerlitz battlefield unfolds, a pilgrimage site marked by silent echoes. Historians and enthusiasts, dwarfed by history, trace the steps of armies past. Their figures roam the vast expanse, each footstep a whisper of battles fought. The somber landscape bears witness, its silence amplifying tales of war. In a dimly lit room, Allied commanders gather around a table laden with maps, their faces etched with concern. The air is thick with tension as they confront the weight of past strategic missteps. Intelligence reports cast long shadows, symbols of battles fought and ground lost. A commander points to a critical point on the map, his expression a mix of frustration and determination. They begin to brainstorm, seeking new strategies to turn the tide. Each idea is met with scrutiny, the weight of their decisions heavy on their shoulders. The Austerlitz battlefield stretches, a silent witness to Napoleon's triumph. Sunlight glints off scattered remnants, shards of a shattered past. Whispers of wind carry echoes of long silent cannons and fallen heroes. The air is thick with the ghosts of strategic brilliance and tragic loss. A vast open stage where history's drama played out in blood and glory. The landscape breathes with the weight of a pivotal, bygone day. Sunlight floods the room where Napoleon stands, surrounded by maps and models, about to unveil his grand military strategy. Napoleon gestures, his voice resonating with authority as he explains his revolutionary tactics to his attentive generals. Eager faces listen intently, illuminated by the promise of a new era of warfare under Napoleon's command. Prototypes of innovative technologies are revealed, designed to give Napoleon's army an unprecedented battlefield advantage. The Austerlitz battlefield lies silent, a calm born of iron and blood, where only the wind remembers the fallen. Tall grass sways under a pale winter sun, casting long, mournful shadows across the scarred earth. A chilling wind whispers tales of strategic brilliance and the high cost of victory, carrying echoes of war. The sun, a pale disk, casts long shadows, painting the uneven terrain with the somber hues of remembrance. The battlefield stands as a testament to leadership and strategic planning, now cloaked in an eerie, haunting silence. Sunlight floods Allied determination, dust motes swirling as the weight of Europe's fate settles upon the gathered forces. Faces etched with resolve surround a sprawling map, each soldier a bastion against the looming shadow of Napoleon. The air crackles with unspoken strategies, every gaze fixed on the cartography of conflict. A shared breath, a silent vow piece hangs in the balance, measured by the courage in their eyes. Determination hardens into steel as they confront the map, ready to meet destiny on the fields of battle. In this hallowed hall, heroes are forged, alliances are steeled, and the future of Europe is gambled. The Austerlitz battlefield stretches, a panorama of somber stillness under the vast sky. Silent witness to history, the field whispers tales of courage and sacrifice. The air hangs heavy, laden with the ghosts of soldiers and the echoes of battle. Sunken earth and broken remnants mark the spots where heroes clashed and fell. A lone tree stands sentinel, its branches reaching like arms across the ravaged land. Peace blankets the scene, yet the land remembers the day's fury and valor. Napoleon's mind conjures a vision of Europe united, borders dissolving like morning mist. He sees grand boulevards stretching across the continent, symbols of a new, shared prosperity. French flags wave proudly from every capital, emblems of leadership and cultural dominance. He imagines bustling markets overflowing with goods, a testament to thriving trade and innovation. His vision paints a picture of shared progress, driven by French ideals and ingenuity. A unified Europe bows to Napoleon's ambition, the continent transformed under his command. The Austerlitz battlefield lies silent, sun blazing upon the open fields. Long shadows stretch across the landscape, a testament to empires. Dust devils swirl where armies clashed. Now only whispers remain. The wind sighs through the tall grass, a mournful song of victory. Scattered remnants glint in the sun, bones of forgotten glory. An empty horizon stretches where destinies were forged and broken. Allied Unity's hall buzzes with purpose. Determined faces gather beneath a tapestry of banners, a united front against the storm. Maps sprawl across a war table, a silent testament to the complex strategies being drawn. Hushed whispers fill the air, a symphony of tension and resolve. Eyes lock, a shared understanding passing between soldiers from distant lands. The weight of nations rests on their shoulders, a burden carried with grim determination. A sense of shared purpose ignites within the hall, a beacon against the encroaching darkness of Napoleon. The camera sweeps over the Austerlitz battlefield, its rolling hills a silent testament to history. Sunlight bathes the vast fields, where echoes of conflict linger in the air. A gentle breeze whispers through the tall grass, carrying tales of valor and loss. The landscape stands as a stark reminder of Napoleon Bonaparte's enduring legacy. Even in peace, the battlefield exudes an aura of profound historical weight. The sun bleeds gold and crimson across the Austerlitz battlefield, signaling the day's end. Silence descends, broken only by the whispering breeze that sweeps across the ravaged landscape. Long shadows stretch like ghostly fingers, a solemn farewell to the carnage. The dying light paints a dramatic tableau of devastation and desolation. A sense of finality hangs heavy in the air, marking the close of a brutal chapter. The sunset serves as a poignant, symbolic curtain call on an era of war and ambition.